Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So what feels good to you, sister? What feels good? You know, I used to have a belief that the kind of, some of the best things in life, the greatest lessons, the greatest gifts, all of those things, that they have to come out of pain or suffering. And, that certainly can still be the case, right? But what I'm discovering now, the things that I'm studying, the mentors that I'm working with, that the biggest shifts and some of the greatest gifts do not have to come from that place, but they come from a state of feeling good. So let me explain what that means. Now, we all understand gratitude, and we might even know, why that's really important. It's like, I need to be grateful for what I have, and it might come from the place of, because some people don't even have what I have. I have a roof over my head. I have food for my family, a vehicle to drive, I have clothes on my body, I have breath in my body. We can be grateful for those simple things in life, right? The things that we may take for granted at times with our other problems and challenges that we have within our life. So gratitude can come from that place. I'm so thankful because I have so much, if you will, compared to some that have very little. So we can come from that place, right? But I want you to think of gratitude and feeling good at a much bigger place. And understanding that the massive shifts, the miracles in your life that are really wanting to get to you, they are wanting, the things you want are wanting you. I'm telling you right now. They do not come from pushing. They don't come from forcing. They don't come from, I'm reading Gabby Bernstein's newest book, which is called Super Attractor. They don't come from being a manic manifester, right? Constant affirmations, constant doing the work, pushing, coming from the quote unquote spiritual way of just like grinding, right? Pushing, all that stuff. I know, because I've been that. I can still be her on any given day. But it comes from allowing these things to come to you, and they come to you when you're in your state of joy, when it feels good. Yes, there's still going to be things that don't feel so great. The time that you're trying to complete a run, or, you're lifting and a particular workout or whatever. But I'm just going to have you consider that those things can still be difficult. And it may even be, it's challenging. It might be kind of like, oh, this kind of hurts. Like I'm feeling these things in my body. But yet the majority of things do not have to work that way, sister. I am telling you, the flow happens when you're in a state of feeling good. You want to know why when you're in a quote unquote good mood, that all this stuff just starts sticking to you, like all sorts of wonderful things start happening? It's because you are in that state. It's because you are in that state of feeling good. And the universe goes, or God, or source, or whatever you want to call it, your angels and guides go, oh, that's what you want? Okay, cool, we got lots of that. Here's some more. And then each time that you receive some of that goodness, so to speak, that inside of you create, not just the outside, you can be thankful for the external miracles that come your way, the things that are outside of you. But no, they did not come from any other place but from within you. You is the magnificent creator that you are. Being in that feeling good state. Now, you can't fake this, okay? So you need to address and be aware of the feelings that you're feeling. So, if you're feeling fear, you can't go, I have courage, you can't bullshit yourself, right? And so you need to acknowledge that and know that it's there, if anything, for you to see the opposite. If you're in a place, in a feeling, an emotion, and a thought that you don't like, then thank you for letting me see the thing that I actually really don't want to have that thought. Do you understand that? It's like acknowledging. It's kind of like if someone sometimes comes to you. That could be a good friend, it could be your child, it could be your significant other, your spouse, your partner, that like, someone in your family where they're coming to you with something that's a big challenge in their life right now, a big problem. And you might think that what they're looking for is they're looking for you to fix it for them, or you to tell them what to do, or you to, and all they want to do is just to be seen and heard. That's it. That's it. When you give that space to another human being, a lot of times they kind of they either vent it out and it just passes, right? Or they just feel seen and heard, or it brings them to a state of calm when you're just there accepting, loving them, being with them, and holding that space for them in that moment. Because you've done that for people. I'm telling you, you have, and you've received it as well too. And you're like, oh man, it feels amazing. Like I'm just acknowledged and accepted for who I am in that moment. So think of your emotions as those little children, right? And I know we don't like them. Those are the kids we're like, wait a second, these are the misbehaving kids. I like my children, which are gratitude, joy, bliss, laughter, fun. Like I like all those ones, right? Yeah, cool. We all love when our kids are acting that way too. But you know what? That's not all of who they are. And your other emotions are also part of who you are. Which can be anger, which can be fear, which can be anxiety, which can be panic, which can be terror, which can be nervousness, which can be stress. It's okay. We want to acknowledge those pieces and know that there's something in that for us. And don't manic manifest and try to create the gift and go, oh, here's the lesson in it. No, sometimes then you're doing what's considered spiritual bypassing. You're going over the uncomfortable, the crunchy, the yucky, icky pieces just to kind of get to the good. No, don't do that. And you also don't have to suffer through it. You don't have to be in misery through all those pieces. You can be in a place of presence and awareness and okay, this is what I'm feeling this right now. It sucks. Don't like it. Don't like feeling anxious. I don't like feeling fearful. I notice right now that I'm spinning stories about the past. It's like doing the play-by-play, right? When someone like a sports commentator will do the play-by-play, they're telling you what they're seeing on the field. And maybe they're bringing up a little piece of information about that player. So-and-so has this particular play. They're doing their this move that they have, this particular way that they, score in whatever game they are, a way that they show up that makes them unique. And you might find that too. You're like, ooh, I'm bringing up God, that's that sting of abandonment. Yep, that's stuff with my mom that I've felt before in the past. I recognize that, I see it. So it's letting those emotions know, those crunchy ones, the kids that are misbehaving, those emotions. I see you, I hear you, I acknowledge you. And thank you for letting me see what I don't want to actually experience right now. Thank you for allowing me to see that right now. Thank you. What would I prefer right now instead? What would I prefer right now instead? This is actually a little piece of an exercise that Gabby Bernstein talks about in Super Attractor. It's just being aware of that thought, awareness of it, forgiving it. Thank you for letting me see what I don't want to experience so I can actually give clarity on what I do want to experience. I think she calls it the choose method, or the 3-step choose method, something like that. It's brilliant. It's simple, right? But it's brilliant. And then the next piece of that is what's the next better feeling thought that I can now have? So you can't go too far, but it's what's the next best one? What's the next best one? What would I prefer to have instead? So it's kind of like this. When you're talking to somebody, and if they're in a really foul mood, right? If you're super up high and energetic and blah, blah, and you've been that down person before, and that person who's high and and all manic and stuff, you're just I want to punch you in the face. There's such a dissonance. There's so far apartness from you and where that person is, their state of being and your state of being. So you might know, and you probably intuitively do this, is I'm going to kind of be where that person is and maybe a little bit above, right? If they're wanting to move out of that place, I don't have to be down in the dumps with them, but I can acknowledge and I accept them where they are in that moment. A little bit above that, if you will. Above sounds like it's somehow better, so I don't mean it to sound that way. But, if they're really depressed, I'm going to just acknowledge that they're in this kind of state, and I'm right here with you. And I'm going to have a calm energy. I might even have a smile on my face. And if I'm with you, I'm going to actually look you in the eyes. And so you will know that I see you. You're going to know with my calmness that I'm holding this space. And I'm going to allow you to share that in that moment. So why does all this stuff matter? This feeling good. Wait a second, Karen. Life is hard sometimes. Yeah, fuck yes it is. Completely agree. Truth, right? Truth. But the solutions don't come in those spaces. Acknowledge them, forgive them, let them go, thank you again, like in the Gabby Bernstein method and Super Attractor. Thank you for allowing me to see that so I can have clarity on what I actually do want to feel instead. And then what is the next best feeling emotion? Where do I want to go from here? Not the 10th step, but what's the one next thing that I want to feel instead? Because my personal experience, and with clients as well too, is when we're in that feeling good state, and this will be our more tip is for you to not do this method. Maybe we'll do that for another time, or you can get the book Super Attractor and read all about it. It's a great book. But what are some simple things that you can do to bring you into that feeling good state? Okay, to help just really shift things, because the solutions don't come in stress and anxiety and tension. The inspiration comes in the feeling good. And I know I've explained this in past podcasts before too. It's kind of like, you know, when you're trying to like figure something out, look for a solution, and you're trying, and maybe it's something within your business or work, or something with your kids, or something in your relationships, or something with your health, and you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and you know, you're like, I'm gonna try this, and just like you're frustrated almost, you're in that energy, like I gotta just keep pushing hard. And that's honorable, and I know you got that strong drive. I hear you, me too. But then sometimes you gotta surrender and let it go. And then what often happens, you'll like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I can't even deal with this right now. Or like, it might even be a giving up energy, but I'll let you know, surrender is not giving up. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to accept that I can't control this right now. So let me just put this aside. I'm just going to let go of all this. I know I'm still clear on the things that I want to create, but I'm not going to hold on to it with that white knuckling kind of grip. I surrender. I recognize there's pieces that I have no control over this. So let me just allow myself to let those go. And the magic in the miracle that often happens in that moment is that inspiration that comes right through you. You know the one you get when you're in the shower? The idea you have, the thought you have? Yeah, it's that. Because it comes in a feeling good state. It comes in a feeling good state. So that's why, and I could never really understand, a lot of kind of spiritual teachers will talk about, you know, like what feels good to you. I'm like, what do you mean what feels good? This sucks right now. It's not about feeling good. I don't feel good. Like I almost saw it as like well, just feel good and like just whitewash it all, right? But that's not what that means. I understand the deeper meaning now. What feels good to you is what's the thing that you can do that'll put you in that feeling good state, because that is where the answers come from. That is where solution. That is where you connecting with your intuition. That is alignment with your default setting of love and joy and gratitude and fun. It comes from that. It comes from that. Why do people come back so refreshed when they've had a really good vacation, right? Because they take a break, because they take a pause. Is it nice to get in the sun? Yes. Maybe have a few drinks? Sure. Cool. You know, do lots of fun stuff? Yes. But it's put aside. There's a break, there's a pause, and then coming back, it can often feel, if you've had a really good vacation, like you've been away not for a week, but like 3 weeks, like you're just recharged. But the thing is you don't have to go on vacation to get that. You just need to plug into what feels good. So let's morph this right in, not morph into, but let's segue into this more tip today. I want you to choose one thing that you know is like your go-to about feeling good. Okay, for a lot of people, it's music. You have a favorite song, a favorite artist, a playlist, whatever, but you're just like, man, when I put that on, I'm just like, whew. I have a playlist right now I have on Spotify, and it's just, I have actually a bunch of different classical instrumental ones that are just like, whew, man, they're just so calming. I just put my AirPods in. I'm just like, whew, that feels good. You know, that gets me relaxed and calm again. It might be that you say affirmations and that helps to ground you, and that gets you in that feeling good state. It might be that you go outside and you put your face in the sun. You take off your socks and your shoes and you put your feet in the grass or in the dirt or in the sand if you need to live near like a beach. right? You look at the ocean, you look at a pond or a lake. What is your feeling good go-to? Because you got to have that in your back pocket. Okay, so that you know and you recognize when the feeling shitty stuff, when the anxiety, when the stress, when all this stuff comes up, that you acknowledge it, be thankful of letting it show you what you don't want to feel, in a loving way, by the way, not in a passive aggressive. You're sarcastic, it's like, when someone might say like something, oh yeah, thanks a lot for that. That was really helpful. No, that's not what you mean, actually. You're completely passive aggressive. It's not helpful and you're not thankful. You don't like what's happened, right? So don't do it from that place, but just like, thank you for showing me, right? Contrast, right? The gift of contrast. Thank you for showing me what I don't want to feel so I can have clarity on what I do want to feel and what I do actually want in my life. And then what is my go-to? What is my back pocket tool of like, bam, I'm going to put on my favorite music and shift my state. I'm going to watch something. I'm going to watch like a silly video. I'll do sometimes that before bed at night. I'm going to watch something funny. It's just completely, humor is such a great, icebreaker of that, isn't it? So humor, music, nature. Maybe you just drink a glass of water. I don't know, whatever it is. You just breathe for 5 minutes. You connect back into yourself. Choose something. Choose one of those, or you have something else where you go, no, it's this. Something you can do, by the way, in an instant. So don't go, well, it's when I go to spin class. Well, it's when I paint or I draw or I, do something artistic, because you have to have something that you can do in a moment, right? You have your breath. You have, you walk outside of a house. You have nature, right? You've got the sun. You've got wind. You've got rain on your face. You can, if it's not snow on the ground, you can put your feet on the earth, right? You can listen to a song. You can, something that you can get to quickly and easily. Doesn't require anybody else involved. Do you hear that? So choose something like that, right? Maybe it's getting out for a walk. And if you can't get out for a walk, you're going to drop and do, 20, 30, 40, 50 push-ups. You're going to do a bunch of squats. You're going to move your body. You're going to breathe, something. Okay, so choose something that you can go boom in an instant. For me, it's this classical music I've been listening to, instrumental music, like it's so calming. So on most of the times I can just put in my AirPods. I'm in the car driving. I can be waiting to go to an appointment. I can be in between like client calls and working. I have it in the background. I have my breath. I can say an affirmation in my head, not my head. So what is that tool for you, sister? And, these types of things, but at a much greater depth, is what we go into working together with my one-on-one coaching. For women that are just, man, I am just in this dark place. I'm in this lost place. I'm stuck. I don't know where I am right now. I woke up the next day and suddenly it was like everything just seemed like it was upside down. I don't know who I am. I don't know how to get out from where I am right now. I'm clear on the things I really want, but I don't know how to get that. And I've been trying and trying and trying. So this is exactly what one-on-one coaching is all about. This is the tools that I've learned personally over the years, in my 50 years here on the planet. Some incredible lessons over the last year and a half, 2 years. And the same tools and systems that I teach to my clients. That we really sit down together and co-create based on your goals and your needs and what you want to see happen over a 3-month, 90-day period of time. We go really deep, and you have me, just like you've got that tool in your back pocket, you have me in your back pocket. And so you literally have me 24/7 to be able to connect with. So I have a client right now, there's a lot of things happening in her life. And so we're messaging back and forth, making the call. Sometimes it can be we have an extra call that week, like whatever is needed to give you the support and the tools to move forward with the goals, with the things that you want to create within your life. To go from being in the pit to being in this like, oh God kind of state, to clarity on the other end of that, right? Which feels awesome, by the way. And to learn these tools so the work can continue even past that. Now, I do have clients that continue to work with me on a very long-term basis, but we start with 90 days. It's a good amount of time for us to really get our feet wet, for you to really learn all these tools, to really see some momentum. And here's the coolest thing. I mean, I've coached lots of different ways over the years. I love one-on-one coaching. This is where my focus is right now, because we can go so deep, because we can move so much together, because we're working one-on-one, right? Like as a team. So if this is something that appeals to you and you're like, man, this is me right now, you're either hearing this for the first time or you've heard me say this multiple times, then just really feel within your heart. If this is resonating as a yes, then here's what you need to do to apply, because this is by application. So email me, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, and simply say, Karen, I'd like to apply. Right now, there's just 2 spots that are open. I don't have the bandwidth and the energy to work with a lot of women at this level, so there's a very limited amount of spots. This is not a marketing shticky thing at all. Like this is fucking truth. It just is. So for me to be able to extend my energy, my love, and my focus and be there for you, it means that I work with less women. I get to reach a lot of you, thousands every single day, several thousand through the podcast, and that's beautiful. But this is a way for those that are they're willing to invest their time, their money, their energy into themselves and say, I want to get from where I am to this thing. Karen, teach me and show me how to get there and give me the support and the accountability to make it happen. So to apply, again, send me an email, drkarenosburn@gmail.com. Simply say I'd like to apply, and I will connect with you from there, sister. So I will talk to the next episode. A Life of More really is one step away from you understanding that your life is up to you, and it really is about moving into things that feel good to create the shifts, the things you want, be a creator, and create the miracles that are wanting to come to you in your life every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.